Living in Maple Glen wasn't exactly my dream, but it ticked the right boxes. Close to work, clean sidewalks, and enough nature for me and Titan, my service dog, to breathe easy. Titan is a German Shepherd, highly trained to support me during PTSD episodes from my time in the Navy. He's calm, smart, and always by my side wearing his bright blue vest that clearly reads, "Service Animal, Do Not Pet." I know the Americans with disabilities act backward and forward. That knowledge is vital when your well-being depends on a dog. Still, I never expected I'd have to quote federal law to the HOA president the first week I moved in. Her name was Deborah Mallory. She wore a perfectly pressed polo shirt, gold-framed sunglasses, and a clipboard like it was an extension of her body. When she approached me and Titan during a walk, she didn't smile. "I don't recall giving anyone permission for a dog in this development," she said, glaring at Titan as he sat beside me, calm as always. "He's not a pet," I replied politely. "Titan is a registered service animal. He's protected under the ADA." Deborah scoffed. "People are always trying to work around the rules." She turned and walked away without another word. I should have known that was just the beginning. Within a month, I'd received 3 citations from the HOA, all signed by Deborah in flowery handwriting. My lawn grass was allegedly 2 inches too tall, my porch light was excessively bright, and worst of all, my recycling bin was visible from the street for 30 minutes after pickup. I complied with each request just to keep the peace, but I knew these weren't random, they were targeted. Then the bombshell dropped at the next HOA meeting. Deborah proposed a new amendment to the bylaws requiring all animals, including service dogs, to be registered with the HOA and to wear a custom neighborhood-issued tag. I raised my hand calmly and explained, "That violates federal protections. The ADA specifically prohibits extra identification requirements for service animals." Deborah didn't even let me finish. "Community rules are more important here," she snapped. "You can't just hide behind some law and expect special treatment." No one else spoke up, though I saw a few uncomfortable faces in the crowd. After the meeting, Deborah cornered me in the parking lot. "If you want to play hardball, fine, I can play that game too," she said under her breath. "We'll see who lasts longer here." The following Saturday, Titan and I were sitting on my porch enjoying a quiet morning. He was resting at my feet while I read a book. That's when I noticed Deborah storming up the sidewalk. She had a small spray bottle in hand. "Your dog is still in violation of our pet ID policy," she said loudly, pointing the bottle toward Titan. "No tag, no exceptions. That rule hasn't even been passed," I replied, keeping my tone even. "And even if it had, it wouldn't apply to him. Federal law is clear." "You military types always think you're untouchable," she hissed. Before I could stop her, she sprayed Titan right in the face. He yelped and recoiled, pouring at his eyes. I jumped up, stepping between them. "What did you spray him with?" I demanded. "Just vinegar and water," she smirked. "Won't hurt him. Maybe he'll learn the rules now." Titan was clearly in pain. I rushed him inside, rinsed his eyes with cool water and monitored him closely. Thankfully, he recovered, but I was furious. As soon as Titan was settled, I called 911. When the dispatcher answered, I calmly reported that someone had assaulted my service animal, a protected working dog, and that it was a federal crime. They took my statement and dispatched officers immediately. 2 police cruisers showed up about 15 minutes later. I presented Titan's documentation, his certification, and the ADA paperwork. I pointed them to Deborah's house across the cul-de-sac. One officer took my statement, while the other walked over to speak with her. From my living room, I watched Deborah gesturing dramatically, her voice rising. The officer remained calm, arms folded. When they returned, they confirmed she'd admitted to spraying Titan, but claimed it was part of enforcing neighborhood cleanliness. I was told that interfering with a service animal is not only a federal ADA violation, but also a criminal offense under state cruelty laws. They asked if I wanted to press charges. I didn't hesitate. Absolutely. Deborah was arrested right there on the sidewalk, protesting loudly as they cuffed her. "This is harassment! I am the HOA president!" Neighbours emerged to watch the scene. One whispered, "Finally, she's gone too far." Later, a neighbour I hadn't even spoken to before came over. "We're sorry," he said. "None of us had the guts to stand up to her. You did." Legal proceedings moved quickly. Deborah was charged with interference with a service animal, misdemeanor cruelty to animals, and harassment. Her first court appearance was something to behold. She arrived dressed like she was going to brunch, with a pricey attorney who looked increasingly uncomfortable as the evidence piled up, including security camera footage from a neighbor across the street. The judge was firm. No HOA policy, no matter how local, overrides the protections granted under federal disability law, he stated. While the trial was pending, the HOA called an emergency meeting. This time, the clubhouse was packed. I showed up with Titan, who got a round of applause from some neighbors. A motion was introduced, a vote of no confidence in Deborah's leadership, citing the legal and financial risk she'd brought upon the entire neighborhood. It passed, unanimously. Her nameplate was gone from the board table by the next day. Deborah ultimately took a plea deal. The judge sentenced her to 30 days in jail, a $5,000 fine, 180 hours of community service at a local veterans shelter,
mandatory sensitivity, training on disability rights. When the sentence was handed down, Deborah muttered, "I was just doing my job." The judge leaned forward. "Your job is never more important than the law." As she was escorted away, we locked eyes. Whatever smugness she once carried had vanished. Titan nudged his head against my leg as if to say, "We did it." And we had. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping HOA drama and real-life justice stories. Thanks for watching, and say hi to Titan in the comments.